Hey, Big Mike. Today we're coming back to you with another video. I'm here with Grace Transportation, Greg, and we're gonna basically answer some of the questions and answers that we keep getting. They repetition, and also we're gonna cover what coaching sessions include when you purchase the course. So I'm gonna let Greg take it away.
How's everybody doing? We're gonna do a Q&A. We've been getting a lot of responses on YouTube, a lot of questions, and so I'm gonna answer a few. And basically, then we're gonna include what's gonna be in the coaching sessions to give you an idea, a basic idea. So some of the questions we've been getting on YouTube is some questions that we've gone over, but a lot of people are asking the same questions. One thing is, how do you get paid and how much? So how do you figure that out? When you go to Medicaid website, which is emedi.org, Medicaid in whatever other state, you check their website. You have to look up what is the schedule fee, or you could even Google this. Because this is what is technically called, what is the schedule fee for taxi, Medicab, medical transportation, non-emergency medical transportation. Look up your category, and it'll indicate how much you get paid per the mile and how much you get paid per base course, which is how much you get paid when you pick somebody up at the residence, and then when you pick them up at the hospital and take them back home. That's what they call base course. And basically what that covers is like 2 gallons of gas to go get that person, pick them up at the residence, and then pick them up at the clinic. Around two gallons of gas, whatever the average cost is, which is normally about $3. Sometimes it's the way they set up is sometimes when you got to go to another county, they're going to pay you more because you had to go all the way an hour out to go pick somebody up and bring them back to a hospital who's an hour back. So it might be in between $7 to $10, and then so that round trip would probably be $20. But what they call the common area, which is the main area that you're doing your trips in, they might just give you enough for 1 gallon, a gallon of gas, which is probably 27 miles or whatever it may be. That's what the base cost, and then the mileage in your county or city, they're gonna show you how much you get paid per the mile. So mostly a time it's gonna be maybe $3 per mile, $4 a mile. Other counties, they rate it by the county, the distance from the common area. Because like in certain cities, there's a common area where the main hospitals are there, and then there's all these rural areas or other counties that don't have too many hospitals, so they know they're going to come to the main common area, and so that's how they prorate it. So you have to look up on emedi.org, the Medicaid website in your city, and look up schedule fee, and you can even Google it, and it'll come up, and that helps a lot. Then with wheelchairs, a whole different industry. So wheelchairs a little different. They normally pay a lot more when it comes to the base cost to pick up that residence and then pick them up from the clinic. It's a lot more, and then probably just around the same amount, $3 a mile. From what I know, average for most cities is from $25 to $34 base cost. That means every time you pick them up from their residence, take them to the hospital, pick them up at the hospital. Because remember, the service, you're taking them, you're putting them in the wheelchair, and they're paying you for the expense of the van, the investment you made. So it's more, but it's averaging the base cost, I would say, from $25 to $34 base cost, and then mileage averaging, I would say, $3 per mile. And if you do multiple trips like that in a day, you're getting paid. What was another question? Another question was, what is the ideal vehicle when you're first starting? I think the ideal vehicle for non-emergency transportation when you first start would be a Prius, a Toyota Prius. You know, Toyota Prius gives you 53 miles per gallon because it runs more on the battery than on fuel. And I mean, with 53 miles per gallon, you can do so many trips, and you know, with $5-10 you could drive that thing all day, and you're saving on gas because when you're have a company and you're doing 10 and 18 trips a day and you're putting hundreds of miles, 100 miles every day, you know, you're going through gas quickly. So the most fuel efficient vehicle is going to be the best. It's going to save you the most money. And then a vehicle that matches your terrain, you know, like if you're somewhere where there's a lot of snow, is ice, the weather is crazy cold sometimes, then you need something that has 4-wheel drive and with some snow tires that can handle that kind of weather. Like that, you know, your clients know that you're reliable, that you could get through any weather to go pick them up and take them to the hospital. So a Prius, has very little power. So in that case, is not the best ideal vehicle. Chevy Impala is another vehicle that's excellent because it has a lot of power to it. It's a V6, and also the mechanics love it because it's easy to remove parts, remove the starter, the alternator, and put those in easy access to get those parts and put them back in. Your car be back on the road by tomorrow. Because every time you lose it, you have your car is down for a whole day, you lost money. You weren't able to get a certain amount of clients. So so those 3 cars are ideal, but you got to look at the terrain in your area and so you be well prepared. Those are some of the questions we had. Another question was, how do you start? It was somebody who, in one of the questions, he was stuck. Mike, he was stuck, and he was like, I started my company and I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Like, I need to go forward and I need help. And I was I would recommend that you research your city, research who are your brokers, what kind of demands there, how many different brokers are there that are going to be sending you trips, and take it from there. So that's what's going to really help you. So another thing that we kind of wanted to go over in the video is, what are we going to have in the coaching sessions? In the coaching sessions, we're going to have some of the basics that really help you move from A to B in your process of starting the company. Because one of the keys is just knowledge, and in particular, inside specific knowledge to your city. Once you have that, you're going to feel more competent, more confident, and it'll help you to move on. Because a lot of times, it's what you don't know that causes you to freeze up and not go forward. So some of the things that we're going to discuss in the coaching session is, one, how to research your market, how to research your city, what brokers are in your city. Once you know the brokers, how to market Medicaid clients, like for instance, marketing Medicaid clients is, you got to know where's the demand, where are they going? They going to certain detox centers in your city or your area, certain clinics, getting a database of clinics and research centers, cancer centers, detox centers. There's so many different specialists, from eye doctors, where the children go, all these, getting a database of all these different medical facilities in your area. That's where they're gonna be at. That's where you're gonna go, and you're gonna have to target them. You're gonna have to go give your cards, market them. Sometimes it's not all about using Facebook, because sometimes you're dealing with senior citizens. They don't use Facebook. They might get the old newspaper that's been going to that little city or little town for the last 40 years. That's the main thing they might look at, the penny saver. And you put your ad in there, or you go directly to the hospitals, the clinics, to give out your cards. Sometimes even go to social services, welfare. Everybody, 80% of the people there are going to be on Medicaid. You go there and give out your cards. These are the kind of things you got to learn, and you got to study, observe in your city in order to grow your clientele base. So you're going to have to, marketing senior citizen homes and where they're at in your city, and give out your cards, postcards, however you think the best way to advertise to them. Hit them up, because once the people who have the Medicaid transportation supplement, they have the ability to choose what company they want to go with. So if they're with a big company out there that they're not happy with, they could easily just switch over to you once they know your company and they start to like you. A lot of them don't even know they can switch. I've dealt with people who is like, I've been with this company for so long. It's been taking them a whole hour to get me, and it's like, and they're frustrated. And then I give them my card and go, "Don't you know you can switch?" And you can switch? Serious? They don't even know that. Half of them don't even know that they have the option to switch. So that right there is big key. What else are we gonna put in coaching sessions? The billing, which is big. I mean, when you first start, you gotta Medicaid teaches you how to do your own billing. Like, they have online classes and you can learn, but it takes a while and it takes a lot of time. It's a difficult process. But then again, there's companies that you can pay, and I would recommend that. So I'm gonna give you info on billing companies that'll help you. Each city has different brokers. Brokers are the middleman that sends you trips that are working for Medicaid directly. And so the trips go from the clientele base of who's using medical transportation, goes to that middleman, the broker, and they disperse those trips to the different companies. So you got to learn who are the brokers in your city that are dispersing the trips, and how to, whatever company that may be, how to set up correctly your profile with them, their web, so that you can get trips from the multiple areas in your city. Then there's insurance companies sometimes, like there's MVP, there's Blue Shield, Blue Cross. There's a lot of healthcare insurance companies, but there's some of them that have their own transportation department where you could get trips directly from them. There's, sometimes there's like workers' comp. There's companies that set up workers' comp, like somebody gets hurt on their job and then they need to be transported to the doctors that they want, the company wants them to go to. But there's companies that do transportation just for workers' comp. And every different city, every city is different, but so you got to find out what kind of brokers or what kind of organizations are dispersing trips in your city. And in mine, I know the brokers, so that's the kind of information I'll help you obtain. Another thing is commercial insurance. So what companies do you need to know, or you can set up your commercial insurance with on your vehicle, how to get your livery plates so that you can eventually get your contract and get on the road. Another thing you got to learn is dispatching, how to dispatch. You get multiple trips all at the same time. They all need to be picked up at 8 o'clock. How are you going to handle that? Or what's the best way to kind of like set up your drivers to do 10 trips? This one does 10. So dispatching, is there any software out there that helps, that automatically does the dispatching? There is. There's software out there that'll do the dispatching for you or set up the trips, or you just have to learn for yourself. So, but all these different things is what's going to be in the coaching session eventually. But billing is big because you want to get paid. You don't want to, get confused about the billing, getting paid for those trips, and if you don't do it correctly, you're gonna get paid 30 days anyway. But if you mess up, it'd be 60 days, it'd be 90 days. If you don't got money to run your company, especially in the beginning, it can all go downhill. So that's big. So I have billing companies that'll help you. That information is going to be in the coaching session, and also just a lot of little wisdom insights that'll help you get going and give you that confidence to get the ball rolling and to get off from the beginning into eventually getting started and getting the ball rolling. And all these little things really help. They really get you going, and they get you to the point where you got enough clientele, you're making enough profit to keep it going. You go from 1 car to 2 cars. If you're going to start off by yourself, you can start off by yourself. How do you handle that when you first start off by yourself? Because you might get enough trips, but you can't handle all of them. What are you going to do? So those are little key points, which, what you could do is you got to call the dispatch and reassign them. Either reassign them until you get more cars. That's another factor too. How do you start off when you're just one person until you grow? So all these little keys, I can give you insight. All right? So purchase a course, and we'll take it from there. So now I'm going to give it over to Mike.
Yeah, again, this is repetition. I'm just happy for the people who are taking action and purchasing the course. Also included in the course is funding, how to get money for your business. Just share, comment, and get the course. And this is a long video, so I'm going to end it for now. Till the next video, subscribe and share, and send us an email, and that's it. I'm out. Big Mike, Greg, Grace Transportation.
Peace.
Peace. Let me turn this off.